What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Oh, I'm going to apologize right off the bat that I don't have a really cool project for you today. But instead, I've got something I gotta get off my chest. It's just kind of a rant day. If I'm going to full-time RV it, I'm going to have to take my career to another level with telecommuting or something like that. So I spent about an hour before work this morning just kind of poking around online just to see what was out there. And I looked over about 20 or 30 jobs, and this is just in an hour. And this is something I've kind of noticed going on for a long time, several years now. And I'm going to say this: if you're a manager or you're a CEO or vice president or president, whatever, if you have employees or future employees' fates in the palm of your hands, you need to listen. Kind of a two-part rant. What I've been seeing lately is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculously, stupidly dumb minimum requirements for entry-level positions for things like a customer service rep taking orders from an infomercial. And by ridiculously, stupidly dumb minimum requirements, I'm talking a bachelor's degree for $10 an hour jobs for somebody that has just a little bit of common sense. You know, somebody like that. Those people can do those jobs. You don't really need somebody with a bachelor for that. In fact, in my opinion, and probably quite a few other people's opinions, when you put a minimum requirement like that, you're really severely limiting yourself on the talent pool that you're trying to pluck out of. Some kind of analogy, I guess. But it just seems kind of dumb that you would require that for such a low-paying job. Have you not heard about all this talk about people wanting to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour? Yeah, that's for McDonald's employees or whatever, but even then, this day and age, no, I don't want to see that happen, but this day and age, you can't make a living on 10 or 11 bucks an hour. You just can't do that. And if you're going to ask somebody that has spent $30,000 to $60,000 on a degree to come work for you for that wage, you have another thing coming. And then you've probably been wondering why your job posting can't get filled. That's why. Sorry, you really need to just take a look at applicants and interview some people and see what their personality's like. Can they understand the language you are speaking? Would they have the common sense to take your order? Okay, that's a good candidate, is it not? Now I can see a minimum requirement for a bachelor's degree if you're going to be a financial planner or an engineer or an RN or a lawyer, but then again, lawyers. Doctors, yeah, well, heck, even a doctor can't get a job with just a bachelor's unless he's going to work in a lab or something, but you know, things like that. That should be your minimum requirement. But you know, for most things, even some technical things or semi-technical things, or even something that requires a creative eye, really shouldn't have that kind of requirement for an entry-level position. Let's just take marketing for an example. If you want to hire somebody that can design some graphics or take some photographs that are pleasing to the eye or make some decent videos or something like that, or do a little bit of PR work, there's some things you need to look at there, and I don't think really a bachelor's would be one of those. For example, if you have an employee or a prospective employee that is applying for this job that would, say, have 10 years experience in carpentry, and then they have a hobby in art, that might be a good candidate, just for an example, because it takes some skill and it takes some creativity to do carpentry work. Not everybody can do that, and there are some people that call themselves carpenters that suck at it. Look at their work, see what they've done. And a bonus, wow, if they have arts in their hobbies, what kind of arts are you into? Do you draw? Do you paint? Or are you into some graphic arts? Wow, that's pretty cool. Can you do some videos? Wow, that's perfect. That's what we need. Can you take some pictures, some pleasing pictures? Can you edit those photographs? Do you have anything to show for that? I would like to see that. Wow, that would be a great candidate. You know, I actually applied for a marketing position once at a place that I was already working at. And, man, I was told, man, I'd love to hire you. Because, I mean, I had stuff to show for it. I had some graphics work that I've done over the years. Had that. They got to look at it. They liked it. I had some photos that I've done. They liked those. They liked my videos. They liked all that stuff. And they even came to me once and said, hey, can you do some background music for us? Because we know that you're in a band. Can you do some background music for us? I'm like, wait a minute. You wouldn't hire me for this position because, unfortunately, we can't hire you. You don't have a bachelor's, even though you have a great portfolio and it looks wonderful and you'd be a great fit and your personality is right on spot with what we need. But you don't have that bachelor's. That's stupid. I'm sorry, that is just dumb. I've been in a management position before, and I've hired people that did not have a degree where it might have helped or some kind of certification, but I interviewed some people and just thought, well, you know, these people have a decent personality, they're willing to learn, and they can understand some technical things. You can teach skills to people if they're not people skills. You typically can't teach people people skills. Other skills? Yeah, if they have the capability to learn it, and it only takes a few questions to figure that one out. Part 2 of Rant. If you have an employee that has come to you and said, hey, I'm turning in my notice, I've got an opportunity elsewhere that I'm going to take. A red flag should go up and some bells should ring, and you should think to yourself, whoa, wait a minute, why is this guy quitting? What are some clues that this was happening? Oh, I've had this happen to me. And I've done it to people. I've quit. But the thing is it's not a good idea to just let that person just go. If they've been a decent employee or a good employee or an excellent employee, there's a reason that person is leaving. Either A or 1, you're not paying them enough. B or 2, you're not challenging that person. Or C, number 3, they're not getting a fulfillment out of their position. That's all it is. Maybe you should look and see why that person is leaving. Sometimes it might only take 50 cents an hour to keep a person. That would sure help from having to go through the interview process all over again and then have to train somebody else, because that's a lot of wasted time and money, especially if you can't keep that person past that 90-day break-in period. And they're not productive usually for a good solid 6 months. And if they quit or you fire them, you're starting all over again, when you could have kept somebody for 50 cents an hour, or maybe made a schedule adjustment, or give them something else that might give them a challenge and make their job interesting. Folks, it doesn't take rocket science to have common sense. And unfortunately, there's a lot of management out there that has no common sense. Use your brains, people. Use your brains. That's what it's there for. It's not to fill the hole in your head. Anyway, I think I've ranted. See, I'm so worked up I can't talk now. No, I've ranted enough. I've ranted enough. You get the idea. That's a huge problem in this country. That's why we have so many people out of work. That's one of the reasons, one of the hundreds of reasons why we have so many out of work people, because you got to get experience somewhere, and if you have an entry-level job that you want experience for, that's why it's called entry level, to get somebody's foot in the door. So that way they can get the experience. If they have hobbies that will work for the position you're looking to fill, man, use that. Use it. I'm just saying, we're all in this together, are we not? Anyway, coming up on the next Garage Guru, we're going to do a kitchen makeover for probably $50 to $100. Look at this. That's ugly. That is remnants of the remodel I did on this house when we first bought it, that I spent 6 months remodeling and totally burnt myself out on. Now I'm getting ready to sell this house so I can move into an RV full time, and we're going to do a makeover in here. You guys stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening to my rant, and I'll catch you guys later.